From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Hey, I just want to remind you, this is a great resource for weather. We know that, right? But, I like to do a few things on the side as well. Of course, we've got the NorCal Ag Report sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. And every Thursday, we put out a new episode for you because, as you know, agriculture has a big impact on Northern California. And we talk to different ranchers and different farmers and learn about the different areas of agriculture in the area and how weather, in a sense, can impact that as well. So go to weathernorcal.com, click on the NorCal Ag section, and you're good to go. And of course, you can also access that from the free Weather NorCal app. Now, we do have a cooling trend this week. We're going to notice temperatures just slowly dropping. It's not going to be a major drop. It's not going to get cool by any stretch of the imagination, but we should drop below 100 degrees for many of us in the valley, even as early as tomorrow. Now, there is still going to be a chance for some isolated mountain showers and thunderstorms. We got some monsoon moisture working its way in. We'll take a closer look at that here in a second. Also have that marine layer, the fog along the coast, kind of coming in and kind of going out a little bit here. For the most part, we're seeing a lot of that fog in the overnight and early morning hours, trying to burn off in the afternoon. And then could we see another heat wave as we go into the middle part of next week? Of course, we'll take a closer look at that as well. But here's your neighborhood at a glance for tomorrow. So you can see we're just starting to stray away from those triple digits for most of us in the valley. Temperatures mainly in the low 90s for the mountains, with the exception of Trinity County, where there it'll be somewhere in the upper 90s for those daytime highs. So again, we kind of talk about that fire danger, what the winds are doing here. And as we go into tomorrow, there's that southerly flow of winds in the valley over 20 miles per hour. That's going to increase the fire danger. Increase fire danger off to the east as well. We've got those strong westerly winds and a north wind for the coast, upwards of around 15 to close to 20 miles per hour. Taking you into Wednesday, same situation, some pretty gusty winds. Now, for the north end of the valley, they're mainly coming in from the west-northwest, more of a southerly flow of winds for the south end of the valley. And once again, some pretty strong winds coming in from the west for the eastern mountains. And in particular, you'll notice we're seeing some very strong winds here over some of those ridges for extreme eastern California, of course, making its way into Nevada as well. So that's also going to be an area of concern where we're talking about fire danger. Now, it's not just the winds, but it's the humidity. Very dry in the valley and very dry for the mountains as well. We're beginning to see some of the drier conditions even making their way into Trinity County. So we've got to watch for that fire danger as we go into the next couple of weeks, and not to mention months, as we start kind of looking at Trinity County, even western Siskiyou County. But the drier conditions are in the valley, into central eastern Siskiyou County, and not to mention Modoc County and the eastern mountains as well. So you combine the temperatures, you combine the winds and the low humidity, there's the very high fire danger we have in some spots here for the north end of the valley. Look at Shasta Valley in Siskiyou County. You're seeing some oranges there indicating the high fire danger, and we've got some of that high fire danger, especially off towards the extreme eastern portions of Modoc County for your Tuesday. Taking you into your Wednesday, once again, we've got that high fire danger in the valley. Little less, but still getting in that yellow, in that moderate range for many of us in especially extreme eastern Modoc County and the eastern portions of the eastern mountains as well. Again, those are areas of concern. This is where we also have some of the higher fire danger as well. So here's what I'm watching here for this week. Couple of things. Number one, this trough low pressure right here. Number two, this ridge of high pressure. This is going to build. It's going to be strong. It's going to be very persistent throughout the week, but it's not going to build any stronger over us because of this cooler air riding to our north. Again, same song, same dance, right? It's the same situation where we see these storm systems ride to our north. It prevents the heat from moving in. I feel like a broken record, but that's the case. And that's what we're looking at here for the rest of this week. Now, by the end of the week and into the weekend, that cooler air moves out, but also the ridge of high pressure starts to retreat down to the south and east. So our temperatures, yeah, they'll be a little bit warmer, but not that much warmer, really, as we go into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Once again, you have some cooler air, which is riding to our north. It's not as strong, so temperatures stay fairly warm going into early next week. Now, we've got this ridge of high pressure trying to build back in, but we've got another one over the eastern Pacific. This one may build even stronger going into Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, and that could mean another heat wave. That heat wave I was talking about is that potential. Now, we're also talking about the chances for showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, especially for the southern Cascades and northern Sierra. And the reason being is we've got the return of the monsoon moisture. That ridge of high pressure with that dome of heat also has that monsoon moisture associated with it. So you get that clockwise rotation around that high, and it looks like it could work its way up into parts of Northern California. So as a result, we could be looking at those thunderstorms in some of the higher elevations. But by Wednesday, that ridge of high pressure starts to shift to the east. As a result, it also brings that monsoon moisture along with it, and we lose that flow of monsoon moisture, and as a result, it dries out again. No more showers and thunderstorms. Now that's a good thing, because let's take a look at Futurecast and show you what we've got going on. As we go into tomorrow morning, you're going to notice the clouds coming in from the south. That's the monsoon moisture. It'll be in the form of some high and mid-level clouds, but for the most part, it should stay dry. Now, we do have that marine layer along the coast, so some pretty dense fog in some areas, and not to mention making its way into some of those inland valleys, even down into the Highway 101 corridor there. Now, Futurecast is showing some showers here. Now, as weak as they're showing here, I'd be pretty much willing to guess that it's so dry out there that most likely all of that rain will evaporate before reaching the ground. These are more of what we call high-based showers. So the base of the showers is pretty high in the atmosphere. It's very dry below that where we are. So most likely as that rain falls down, it has plenty of time to evaporate. Depends on how heavy it gets, because if you see here, by 5 p.m. tomorrow, it gets a little bit heavier. So that would lead me to believe that there's a chance that it may not 100% evaporate, which would mean maybe the potential for some of us in the valley seeing a stray shower. Something worth watching here. Now, if you work outdoors, I wouldn't be too concerned about this, because most likely it'll just be in the form of some of those clouds moving in, and it's just one of those things, just keep your eye to the sky. Keep a close eye on it, because it won't really happen until late in the day before you really start seeing those chances. And by the way, as we go into the evening hours, now we're seeing the potential for showers and maybe even some thunderstorms here for the southern Cascades and northern Sierra. That's obviously a concern, because dry lightning is going to be that biggest concern with those thunderstorms should they develop. But then by Wednesday, that moves out. Remember I said the monsoon moisture will shift to the east? We'll see how things are drying out by Wednesday morning, but we are still seeing that marine layer and the fog out along the coast here, even through a good portion of the day on Wednesday, more of it pushing eastward into Wednesday night as well. So here's a look at your wave heights as we go into your Tuesday. Look at those wave heights. They're starting to drop. And it looks like they'll drop even more going into your Wednesday of this week as well. So what that means is that small craft advisory has pretty much been allowed to expire, and we don't expect there to be any small craft advisories going into your Tuesday, with northwest winds at about 5 to 10 knots. And of course, you can see those waves from the northwest at 6 feet at about 10 seconds. Okay, so let's take a look at our forecast for tonight. Temperatures are starting to drop. We're getting more relief from the heat, not only in the daytime, but also overnight. You'll notice it a bit cooler to start off the day tomorrow, late tonight, tomorrow morning. Looks like those low 50s for many of the higher elevations, upper 40s out along the coast. So here's a look at your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Might be overdoing it for Douglas City, probably upper 90s there as well. Weaverville about 97, 88 for Ruth, and Burnt Ranch about 92 degrees. We take you out to central and southern Humboldt County. We're about 90 degrees for Garberville, Alder Point, 69 for Blue Lake. Now, we are going to be looking at the potential of some of that fog kind of work its way through Ferndale, Rio Dell, maybe even down into Garberville tomorrow morning, but that'll probably retreat later on in the day. 79 for Gasquet tomorrow, 89 for Orleans, and those low 90s for Hoopa and in Willow Creek. We take you out to Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, where temperatures there will mainly be in the 90s, although some of those higher elevations in the mid to upper 80s for your daytime highs. Now, you'll notice I've included a chance for a shower or thunderstorm, especially late in the day stay tomorrow. Otherwise, it should be dry through the first half of the day in Modoc County, and that's also the case for the Eastern Mountains, where temperatures there are going to be in the upper 80s, even some low 90s. Places like Shingletown, you'll be about 90 degrees for Paradise, and it looks like Quincy about 93 degrees. Let's take you out to the Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Temperatures there are going to be in the mid to even some upper 90s for some of the warmer spots like Los Molinos and Chico. 96 degrees out in Durham. We take you up north, about 98 degrees for Redding, as well as Anderson, 97 for Red Bluff, and it looks like about 95 degrees in Lakehead. So let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. Temperatures drop on Thursday. We're back up to about 100 degrees by Friday. And it looks like upper 90s to about 100 degrees as we go into Saturday, Sunday, and even warmer going into early next week.
Everywhere I go, I'm riding with pride. I'm riding on my go-go. Watch me glide. Everywhere I go, I'm getting around. I'm riding on my go-go. All over town, I'm riding in style and feeling so right. It's easy to take and it's all so light. Everywhere I go, I'm riding on my go-go.
Everything Medical, your mobility experts.